Did you see what Nikita Zadorov did on Friday through his agent? Like, I don't think the guy was out of the shower, and right away there was a tweet saying Zadorov wanted a trade. That had to be calculated. Bright lights of Toronto Hall of Fame game, right?
I was like, how did this just get, the news broken right now? It was the weirdest time in the world. I was like, am I just kind of seeing this late? And I'm looking around. I'm like, no, this is fresh. Sent it to some Oilers buddy or to some Flames buddies. And they're like, what the hell? Where'd you see that? I'm like, and then it just started blowing up everywhere. But is that what he did? Went through his agent after the game?
Yeah. So Dan Milstein, by the way, I reached out to Dan Milstein on Sunday, asked him to come on Leafs Morning Take. They're not making any further comment on Nikita Zadorov and the trade request because it got wild there for a second. Like, people felt like it was imminent that he was going to be a Toronto Maple Leaf. From everything we know, he's been connected to Toronto, Vancouver, New Jersey. I could tell you right now, any team who thinks they're a contender, Rosie's going to be interested in this guy. And that's what concerns me from the Maple Leafs perspective. Like, yeah, he would be an amazing fit. How far do you want to go for a guy like Nikita Zadorov is the question.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, the Flames are, in a position where they need to figure out what direction they're going in. If they do unload this guy, they're going to want a lot in return. I think they're going to want some pretty heavy draft picks, prospects, that kind of thing to build around in the next few years, especially going to that new barn there coming up in the next handful of years. What's going to happen with some of the contracts they have and Huberdeau? They're kind of a mess right now. And I imagine, the ball's going to be in their court as far as what are you going to offer me for this guy, right? And I mean, I know Tree Living knows he needs a D-man like that. They do not come up all the time. The price is going to be decently high. What that is, I don't know. I think we're going to be unloading like some prospects and like Nick Robertson types in order to get this guy. What the deal looks like, I don't know, but I just do know that if the deal goes by and passes you by and we don't get him, you got to think to yourself, are we capable of winning a Stanley Cup with the roster we have right now? And on the back end, the answer is no. You're not winning a Stanley Cup right now. You have to make a move. And what that looks like as far as making a deal, it's going to hurt. You're not going to want to give up what you're going to have to get that guy, but we need a big, strong, solid D-man that can be responsible and reliable and that has a massive upside, that plays physical and everything else that guy does. Like, we freaking need it. So, like, I don't want to say whatever the price is, pay it. But I mean, if you're going, no, that's too steep, well, then what are you in the game for? Are you trying to win a cup or not? You're going to have to sacrifice some stuff to get the guy. And goddamn well, we need that back end bolstered. So it'll be interesting to see what comes across Tree Living's plate here in the next few weeks trying to get this guy.
Of course, Dan Milstein tweeting out, get your Leafs tickets today. It was so calculated. He knew exactly what he was doing. And to your point, how far are the Leafs willing to go? I know Nick Abruzzesi's name's been out there. If you think Nick Abruzzese is going to get Nikita Zadorov, I think you're sadly mistaken. Is it going to be Fraser Minton that goes? Is it going to be Easton Cowan? Because you're right. You want something, you have to give up. And that's the unfortunate part. It's not just Leafs Nation. It's every fan base. They want Exhibit A, but they want to pay like a discounted rate. It doesn't work in this league. I know Brad Tree Living used to work for the Calgary Flames. So that leads me to believe that they actually probably want more from the guy. And I think that's the concern from my point of view, is that a lot of teams are going to be after Zadorov and Tanev and pretty much every defenseman the Leafs would covet on that roster. And if I'm Calgary, I'm probably slow playing this whole thing. Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Roseau. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.